On the flip side, you're like, this 34, I can't breathe, it's too tight, this is awful. Hello and welcome, thank you for tuning in. In today's video, I am going to be going through and showing you on myself how to measure your bra size and determine which size of bra you should be wearing. So in this video, there are a few things that you will need. It's a little interactive. Before I start, please like and subscribe. That would be very much appreciated. You will need a pen, piece of paper, and of course a tape measure. So you always want to make sure that you start at the right end of your tape measure. You also want to be measuring in inches. I say this and it seems like it would be a really easy thing to think about, but the amount of times I have measured people and I've started at the wrong end. So we start at the 0 end. Before we start, we want to make sure that we have a good fitting bra on, or the best bra that you have in your closet that fits you the best. You want that bra to be not moulded. It can be underwired, but it needs to not be moulded because we want to get as accurate a measurement as possible. And with moulding and with padding, it sets the measurements off. So you want to start by measuring your rib cage, and I am measuring directly under my underwire because you don't want it to be sat on the wire because again it's going to affect the measurement. So in this example I am measuring a 30 band, and then so I want to write this measurement down, and then I want to measure the fullest part of my breast in my best fitting bra. And this is measuring 35. So we take this measurement and we write it down. So what we do next is a little bit of maths. We're going to take the cup size away from the band size. So we're going to take the 35 away from or minus the 30, gives us a difference of 5 inches. From there is a table that I will link below, and I'll also put it in the description below, that will tell you what cup size you are with a 5-inch difference. With a 5-inch difference, I am measuring a double D and I am measuring a 30 band. So this gives me a starting point. Always remember the tape measure, it's always a starting point. So if I was going bra shopping, I would start with a 30 double D and see how it fits. I would start there, and it's always a good starting point. So let's look at scenario 2, which is where you measure your band and you're not measuring the exact band sizes. So you're not measuring a 28, a 30, 32, 34, 36. You're measuring in between. So for instance, you take a measurement and you're measuring 35 on the band. So what do you do in this scenario? So you're measuring 35 across the band, like this, 35 across the band, and then you're measuring 40 across your cup size, the fullest part of your breast. So the difference between the band at 35 and the cups at 40 is 5 inches, which again gives you a double D. But what do you do about the band? Because you're in between. So my advice for you in this scenario is you should try both. So I'm going to explain to you what you do, whether you go down or whether you go up. So with a 35 band, you could try a 34, because depending on how you like your bras to fit, some people like them to fit tighter than the other. And with you being a 35, you could be either a 34 or a 36. So let's take the 34 for example. You're a 34-inch band. Now what do you do with that measurement? If we are taking the example of the 35 band size and you decide you want to try a 34, what you need to think about is this cup size, this is always a 40. So when we take you down to a 34, you have to do maths again. So we take the 34 band away from the 40 cup size, and that gives you a 6-inch difference. So that would give you an E cup or a triple D US cup. If on the flip side you're like, this 34, I can't breathe, it's too tight, this is awful, you then do the same again, but the opposite way. So it's not the same, it's the opposite. So you go to again, remember, the 40 never changes. It's the band that changes. So we're going to a 36 in the band. This cup size is 40. There is a difference of 4 inches now. So with that difference, it would equate to a D cup. So you would try a 36D or a 34E. Or triple D. Now, I do have a video on sister sizings. I will link to it above, and it might be in the description as well. What you need to always take into account when it comes to measuring bra size is that the tape measure is just a starting point, and that's all it should be used at. It's not the be all and end all. It all depends on a number of things as to whether the bra is going to fit. And namely, that comes down to the manufacturers and the brands and how they actually make their bras. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful. If you would like to like and subscribe, that would be very much appreciated. Until next time, thank you and goodbye.